Hi there! With the latest Aorus 17X, Gigabyte's gaming brand put together one of the most affordable options with a mobile RTX 4090. In addition, the 17-inch notebook is also one of the thinnest laptops with Nvidia's flagship GPU, while still feeding it 175 watts of juice. If this is a doomed combination right from the start and throttles itself into oblivion, or if Gigabyte managed to pull it off, well, we will tell you everything about it right after the intro. Our review configuration, coming in at $3,500 or €3,800 respectively, is equipped with the before-mentioned Ada mobile flagship, the beastly RTX 4090, Intel's high-end Raptor Lake i9-13900HX, 32GB of speedy DDR5-5600 memory, and two 1TB NVMe SSDs. In the display department, we get a 16:9 240Hz QHD display. And this puppy comes in at almost 3 kg while being only 22mm thin. Despite that, chassis rigidity is mostly alright. The metal lid is relatively resistant to flexing and the hinge is very well adjusted. The base unit feels sturdy enough for such a big machine. Only in the upper middle above the keyboard deck we experience a bit more flex than we would have liked. The 17X is quite a design departure from last year's offering, but apart from the angled lines along the chassis and the imprinted Aorus logo on the touchpad, the 17-incher looks clean enough to not raise any eyebrows, bringing this one to work. The copper-colored radiator fins along the side of the vents are a nice touch and do look pretty awesome if you ask me. Port selection for the hefty but thin gamer is very decent and mostly well placed. On the left you can find two USB-A 3.2 Gen 2s and the audio combo port. On the right, Gigabyte made room for an additional Type-A and the only USB-C Thunderbolt 4 port. Because of the large cooling vents along the sides, the USB ports move to the front quite a bit, which might make cables and accessories get in your way from time to time. I would hardly say it's a deal breaker, but just something to be aware of. Luckily, Aorus put the bigger connectors in the back, and here you can find the power connector of course, HDMI 2.1, a mini DisplayPort and a 2.5 Gigabit Ethernet jack. In addition to the fast wired networking option, wireless connections offer speedy and stable transfers. And in the maintenance department you get access to a pair of SODIMMs and NVMe slots. The Wi-Fi card can also be swapped should that need arise at some point in the future. Regarding inputs, the 17X delivers a solid keyboard and more than adequate touchpad. The key switches offer a decent amount of travel and a precise pressure point, and the mouse replacement worked well during our testing with a smooth surface and clear feedback. The clean design and powerful components also makes the Aorus 17X very attractive for creators, such as video editors or CGI artists, and the display further underlines use cases beyond gaming. While it is held back by the very low brightness and some slight backlight bleed, everything else about this display is pretty alright. Contrast is of course also suffering slightly from the low brightness, but brightness distribution is pretty decent and color gamut coverage is also very good, for this being actually marketed at gamers. With manual calibration, we have been able to improve color reproduction tremendously, making this one even suitable for color-accurate workflows in professional environments for graphic designers, photographers or retouchers, and video editors looking for a portable desktop replacement. Aorus, still being Gigabyte's gaming brand, response times and the speedy 240Hz refresh rate of the QHD display are excellent and should please even the most competitive gamers amongst you. Alright my fellow gamers, let us see what this one can deliver despite the thinner chassis. Starting with the CPU, the i9-13900HX comes with 8 hyper-threading capable performance cores and a total of 16 efficiency cores, and can run with a maximum wattage of almost 160 watts and peak and short burst scenarios, before it levels out at 86 watts for sustained CPU only workloads. This is actually quite a bit lower than what we have seen on other high-end Intel HX equipped notebooks, but most of those can rely on much thicker chassis almost across the board. System performance paints a similar picture in our PCMark scores, and while there are faster machines available, the 17X is a very snappy system in total and subjectively works very well in a lot of different use cases. Drive speeds might be decent for almost everything you can do with a laptop in 2023, but most competitors can take better advantage of the PCIe Gen 4 interface. On the plus side, both drives can keep up transfer rates at the same level across our benchmark runs. GPU performance is simply excellent, and the RTX 4090 paints the well-established picture. The sole fact that Gigabyte's engineers have been able to pull off a 175 watts variant of Nvidia's fastest laptop chip in a chassis this thin is especially impressive. In our combined performance rating, the Aorus can still not quite keep up with the fastest notebooks currently available, but the difference, while not marginal, isn't night and day either. Blender results align with the numbers in our database, and I also took the Aorus for a spin for our video production. The 17-incher provided a smooth editing experience and can definitely make for a great mobile workstation for more work-related tasks. Real-world gaming scenarios also offer absolutely no reason to complain. In our combined performance rating, the slim gamer can even almost keep up with the massive MSI Titan. My colleague Florian ran a crazy amount of benchmarks across the whole range of settings and resolutions, which should paint a pretty accurate picture of what to expect from the Aorus 17X. While having a look at some of those results, please consider liking this very video if you feel entertained and informed, and make sure to subscribe so you do not miss our future uploads. In addition, I put the links to our written reviews in the description below so you can dive deeper into our benchmark results after watching our video. Stuffing high-end components in a thin chassis has of course one downside, and that is mostly fan noise. Even Gigabyte has to obey the laws of physics, so the Aorus can get quite noisy when pushed hard. To give you guys a more subjective impression of fan noise for this one, in addition to our measured dB numbers on the website, we recorded some noise samples for you under various loads. Regarding battery life, with 6.5 hours of runtime in our Wi-Fi standard test, you can even do some chilled web browsing on the sofa without worrying about running out of juice faster than you can enjoy your coffee. Alright my friends, it is once again time to wrap this up for today. With the Aorus 17X, Gigabyte put together a very well-rounded notebook that actually does not come with any glaring weaknesses. I mean, sure, it gets pretty loud when gaming, but in return you get a pretty portable machine. The chassis design is what I would call clean enough and offers above average input and I/O options, and a pretty decent display apart from the way too low brightness. Performance is impressive as well, and the i9 and RTX 4090 perform as they should, and will be more than adequate for even gaming in 4K or some heavy workstation loads. While the 17X is still a very expensive machine, it does not seem as crazy overpriced as other laptops with similar hardware we have tested so far. But please guys, let us know what you think about this one in the comments below. This would be it for today. I would kindly ask you to leave your like if you enjoyed the content, and maybe even consider subscribing or check out some of our other videos if you just cannot get enough. Thanks a ton for watching. My name is Alex, you have been absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.